And what did this sign say again?
Hey, what did the sign say? The sign said, Russ Carnahan voted to close us and other small business. That is a direct
And you were the author of that?
I was the author, and then that was essentially, that was what, in the letter I sent to Russ, to his office directly, I faxed it to him in Washington, D.C. I had photos of the sign.
And you guys have been getting calls? And
oh yeah, the emails and phone calls. I guess they said yesterday we got about 30 phone calls, and then I had about 10 or 12 emails, and the farthest email I had was a guy from down in Florida.
Like I was telling you, we spend $150,000 a year just for electricity and gas for this store and our other 2 stores. So if we're going to pay an 8 to 10% per year increase, you know, and we don't know, nobody knows exactly what it is, but if the assumptions that everybody's saying are true, it's just going to put us out of business.
You know, that's what
when you say
before.
10%, help me understand where that 10%
10% in utility increase cost. When you look at this single location of what we have here, I said our oven room right now, when we go back there and you add it up, it's 1 million BTUs an hour running right now.
even the supporters said, I mean, the president said, necessarily rates will skyrocket. I mean, the system is set up in such a way that it's meant to force rates up so that it forces a change in behavior.
And
which is a change in behavior. The question is, you won't be around, businesses might not be around to change behavior.
Is if he can figure out a way for us to bake muffins and cookies and bread without using gas or electricity.
Do you mind telling us about what your margins are? Like, what is the profitability in the baking industry?
The last 3 years, we've lost money. Because the commodity market went so crazy, especially last year. We came very close to going out of business. Typically, if you'll look up Robert Morris or one of the folks that have the statistics on industry, the average small bakery that is of the size that we are, which is the $1 to $5 million range, 2.5% to 3% is our profit margin. A little smaller bakery may work on 5 to 8. A bakery that's a little larger will work on 1.5 to 2. You even take somebody like Schnucks, they're probably only working on a 2% margin. So they're very, very thin, and small restaurants are not much different than what we are. The commodity side, the other thing that we don't know how to act. Last year was the most volatile year in the commodity market, probably in history. And if you go back, wheat tripled at retail price, eggs tripled, and soybean, all products made with soybean, all tripled. They ran in conjunction with the price of oil. And if you watch right now, if you've watched the markets, as the price of petroleum oil goes up or down, the price of other commodities go up or down. Some of this has got to do with oil is sensitive to the value of the dollar. When the dollar becomes soft, oil goes up, and then all commodities go up at the same time. So one of the things that's making it very difficult for people in the food industry is this volatility, and it's not just energy related from the cost to refine it, it just tends to be speculative. And you know, the Senate just published a report about a couple of weeks ago that faulted the Chicago Board of Trade with not doing enough to prevent artificial speculative run-up of the commodities that we had last year. There was a huge gap between the cash price of commodities and the speculative price. So people were just simply using it as a money hedge.
You know, we've talked a little bit, obviously a lot actually, about the costs of energy and whatnot, but what are your labor costs as a percentage of your total costs?
Our labor costs run us about 40 to 42% of our total amount of sales. That's our gross labor, our FICA, and the other things, and our health insurance plan that we provide to all of our full-time employees.
About how many employees do you have?
We have 85 employees, and we have about 50 on our healthcare plan. And so virtually all of our full-time employees are on our healthcare plan. And right now we're paying about 4.5% of our total sales in healthcare costs.
Okay. There's a minimum wage hike coming late next month. What are your views on that? Will that be a significant hit on you, or are most of your employees above the minimum wage? Like, what do you expect to happen?
It's the ripple effect. It's the same thing. When the bottom rises, the top rises, and everybody along the way does. I don't know that we have anybody here making minimum wage, but it pushes the whole market up. It does have more of an effect on a lot of small restaurants that are got tipped employees and people. It's putting an enormous burden on a lot of the table serve restaurants and those type people.
So you had the sign up, signs down now. What happens?
Congressman Carnahan's office called a mutual friend and asked us if we could meet and would we take the sign down until we'd at least have the time to discuss it. And I graciously said we'll be happy to discuss it.
And when is that discussion scheduled?
Well, one of his aides is going to call me tomorrow when they get back from Washington and try to set it up. So I'll know more tomorrow.
Do you know if the discussion will be recorded?
I doubt. I doubt
Are
it.
you volunteering, Darin?
I'm just trying to find out how open our new open government is.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I would hope is that we can open the discourse, we can talk about it. And in this issue, from the House perspective, may be dead. I don't know. But the one thing I want to do is say, government should be responsive, to when you're going to have something that impacts small businesses so much, you need to be consulting with the small businesses. And B, we would hope that we can open a dialogue with Senator McCaskill and at least have the opportunity to talk about how this could possibly affect small businesses in the farm that it's in.
Have you ever heard of, do these offices, McCaskill, Bond, or Carnahan, do they have a staffer who does small business stuff only?
I've never heard before.
I mean, what my experience is, you get guys like you. If you just listen to you know more about what's going on in the economy than most of the people that seem to, sort of say they do. Because you see labor, healthcare. You have to see everything as opposed to the guy who's.
When I called Russ Carnahan's office last Friday, my conversation with the staffer was, I would love to have the congressman come in and spend a day in a small business and see what small business costs today are, and the true taxes we pay and all the things that we have to go through to stay alive, because they have never been associated in a small business. They don't have a clue. They do not have a clue if they saw the hard cost of what it is.
Have you had to cut jobs in the last 3 years?
We cut 4 positions last year, which was the first time in 32 years we've ever laid anybody off. We were able to hire 1 person back.
He's in the Marine 3-7, and they're
Thanks.